Hey everybody, I'm going to do a reading on voting rights. Now I have done a reading on the Voting Rights Act before and have gotten very positive answers that it will pass, but we don't know when. Biden was hoping to get it passed before today, MLK Day. It has passed in the House, but we have problems, two problems in particular, in the Senate with Manchin and Sinema. Let me see what that was. Yep, 5 of Wands disagreements. Whew. So I'm going to read on it and see how things are going. It's important to remain positive on this issue because, like I said, I have read on this before. It will eventually pass. But let's see. What do we need to know about the voting rights bill, act? It's actually an act. Voting rights. What I'm really interested in knowing is if it'll pass before midterms. Let's see if we get any indication of whether or not it will pass before midterms. What is that? 3 of Swords. That's the no. Right there, it just flew right out. That's telling me it won't get passed before midterms, guys and gals. Sometimes the cards just answer you immediately. But I'm still going to read on it. Voting Rights Act. I should say acts. There's 2 of them, I think. Voting rights. What are we looking at for voting rights? What do we need to know about it? So I'm going to go ahead and lay these cards out all face down ahead of time because sometimes I notice that people get confused about how I'm reading the cards. And when I put them out in a particular spread, and I'm going to put them out in the Celtic cross spread, each position has a meaning. The cards don't all relate the same way to the question. So I'm going to put them all out so that I can explain them to you as I'm turning them over. That might make more sense or not to people. So let's see. So the very first card in the center here, that's the main issue. It can be the question. Sometimes it's just the question itself, or sometimes it's an issue related to the question. So first card, 10 of Swords in reverse. So that's telling me that the issue is there's something that needs to be put to an end that has not been put to an end. And right away, the first thing that pops into my head when I'm thinking about it logically is carving out the filibuster. So that actually is why it has not passed the Senate, or at least that's what Sinema says. She doesn't want to carve out the filibuster. She doesn't want to make an exception to let it pass. So that's telling me that that's what's going to have to happen in order to get this thing passed, is there's going to have to be a special carving out. Now, the positive thing that I think about when I think about that is if the midterm elections go in Democrats' favor, it looks like they would probably do that to me. Crossing that, we have the 6 of Cups. That can be nostalgia. It can be something coming back from the past, or it can be just fond memories of the past, or remembering a happy childhood. Overall, general energy is happiness. So that's interesting. Again, this is pointing to me of something that needs to recur, a happiness that needs to recur before we can get past this issue. A happiness that needs to recur. The happiness that was felt possibly in the 2020 election possibly needs to recur. Or just that energy. Let's see, at the bottom, now this card can be the basis of the reading, the reason why we're having problems. It can be something in the subconscious that we're not thinking about. Let's see what that is. The Tower in reverse. Again, this is the crumbling of something that no longer serves you, the crumbling of an institution, such as the filibuster. Or it can be something else. It can be the crumbling of a way of life. And because it's coming right underneath this nostalgia card, it could be the crumbling of, it very much could be about the crumbling of a way of life that people are not conscious of. Or they are subconsciously, and they're not bringing it to the surface in the subconscious and the consciousness, in their consciousness. So it's causing problems. When you have something in your subconscious that's bothering you, it can make you angry, it can make you upset, and if you don't deal with it, that anger and that upset doesn't go away. In the past, this is the past position, near past position. It can be influencing the present. So we have the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands. This could be Cinema and Mansion taking actions that are preventing that filibuster from being carved out. This could be specific senators that are holding up. Because remember, it's passed in the House. It just has not passed the Senate. Top card here. This is the mind. This is the consciousness. This is thinking. Sometimes this is advice. Let's see what we have here. High Priestess. That's a card that tells you, you know the answer already. You just need to tap into it. You need to tap into your intuition. You need to tap into your higher knowledge. Using your intuition. Knowing yourself. Knowing the right direction. Boy, she sticks out to me in this whole reading. She's really looking out over this whole thing. Next card is the near future. Near future. 4 cups. 4 cups. That's not accepting an offer. This shows to me a block in the negotiations. This is a continuation of the issues that Biden is having with the senators and not being able to get an agreement. So this is saying in the near future there won't be an agreement. To me, that's what this is saying. This position is the you position. It's a description of the person, the thing that you are reading on. And sometimes it's how they see themselves. So it's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, huge opportunity that's not being taken advantage of. And personally, I would agree with that. This opportunity to pass this act, the Voting Rights Acts, is a huge opportunity for the United States that is not being currently taken. It's an opportunity that's just not being accepted by all sides. Next card, this is the environment. It's either the environment or it's how this is seen by the outside. So this can be outside influencers. It can be the environment. Let's see what we get. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So the Six of Pentacles is about equity. It's about equality. It's about fairness. It's about generosity and compassion. It can be about spreading wealth when you have an abundance. And it's in reverse. So this is the environment that this Voting Rights Act is in. It's in this environment of not supporting equality. So you know what that means. Next card. The next card is Hopes and Fears. Hopes and Fears. The Ten of Cups. It's reversed. So many people understand the significance of the Voting Rights Act. So there, and how it would bring this happy family, happily ever after situation. But the fear is that that's not going to happen. So a lot of people are afraid it's never going to pass. There are people that fear it never passing. But I don't get that. I get that it will, just not before the midterms. Let's see. And then that last card, this card, is the outcome card. Now, the outcome card isn't set in stone, because if this changes, which is also an outcome card, it's a near term. This card here is the key to this card. If this changes, if people can change this not wanting to compromise, this not wanting to accept offers, if that changes, if that can change, if Biden can get, if he can get some, in fact, I might read on that next, if Biden can get people to change their minds, that can change this. Or this might just be how it turns out. So let's see what we get. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is a good card. It is loyalty. It's about loyalty. It's about a plan that does bring success, but it takes a long time. So this is saying that it's further out. That's saying that it's further out, that there's a plan in place to get the acts passed, but it's going to take more time. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. So I will read real quick to see if we can, I mean, I've already gotten the card that said it's not going to happen before the midterms. But but things can change. Let's see if Biden has any chance of getting things done. If he can, let's see. Will Biden convince anybody to change their position? Will Biden convince Manchin and Sinema particularly? Will he be able to do that? I'm going to pull 3 cards. Will Biden be able to negotiate and get those Voting Rights Acts passed? Now, he wanted to get it done by today. 3 cards on Biden and the Voting Rights Act. Let's see what we get. First card. There he is defending it, working hard, being hit with the same stuff over and over again, getting beat up. 9 of Wands. Next card. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So he's been doing a lot of work, but this is someone who's getting exhausted and exasperated. He may take a pause for a while. He may back off. Last card. 8 of Swords. Restricted. Restricted. Held up by what he wants to accomplish. I don't get him being successful. Not before the election, anyway. And that was the question. Not before the election. He's being restricted. And it's a mind, this is saying it's a mindset. The secret would be for him to step outside of himself and his way of thinking. This is a card that tells you to step outside the box. Step outside the box you've created around yourself. This would be the advice card for him, is to approach it from a different perspective, a different strategy. Come up with a different strategy from how he would normally do things. That's his only way he could do it. Thanks, everybody.